YouTube, what's up? So today, cutting my last tenon. Yes. So you were there for the first one, and figured I'd bring you along for the last one. Yeah, if you're gonna woodwork, I suggest you learn how to become ambidextrous, so your one arm's gonna get bigger than the other. In theory. So right now, top's done. That is one mock-up right there. Still going to do a little bit of tweaking on the lower shoulder. But yeah, that's the front of the right side. So I got to tweak it because it's not allowing my other one to seat right now. It's off by like a 30-second, but it's enough to piss me off. And something else I was encountering on the last tenon I did, the one that's on the other end of this, was I ran into a sap pocket. Now you can kiln dry your wood, but when you're dealing with 6x6s, there's no way you're gonna get down to the percentage that you're looking for. The standard, I think the industry standard is somewhere around 18 to 21%. Maybe if I'm wrong, correct me down below or whatever, but this wood, their wood, where I get my wood, usually comes in about 19%, but it's a 6x6. There's no way the center of it is going to have a moisture content low enough. Anyways, I ran into a sap pocket, and that sucked. I mean, it'll be fine. Kind of like acts a little bit like extra glue in the joint, but it was a pain in the ass to deal with. So if you ever run into getting sap all over your hands, I live in the Pacific Northwest, so we have pine, Doug fir all over the place. So I get sap all over my hands all the time. Best thing to get that stuff off, hand sanitizer. Tip of the day. So back to this. I can't wait to get done. Can't wait. And it's only Saturday. Yes. I still got all day tomorrow. I'm going to get a good night's sleep tonight. Wake up tomorrow and do the glue up. I'll bring you along for one of them anyway. But I also wanted to show you a little bit of, because on I think it was the last video, one of the last ones, I brought you along and I got to about this point. Now I'm going to finish it off and show you how I finish off my tenons. I'll just kind of work and you can watch or whatever. And I did start off with the tenon saw, but this is 6.5 inches or actually, it's an exact 6 inches. Well, it's going to be closer to it. So it's a hair under 6 inches. Because I planed meat off the legs, and these are sticking out 1/2 of an inch past the leg. And I am going to, for the 4 ends of the, maybe I'll show that too in another video. For the 4 ends that are going to actually stick out the either end of the bottom tenons, I'm going to go ahead and do the ends in the Craftsman style, just like Paul Sellers did on his bench build. Getting close. Alright. Remember, save them. I've used them already for wedges on a different project. I'll tell you, this is a fantastic little panel saw. Like everything else, I got it for a song on eBay. It's amazing what you can get when nobody else is interested in what you want. Oh, it's got someone's initials in it. Oh, shucks. But I'm lucky. My last name's Gardner. So all I did was, and you can chisel this last bit away, but you already got the tool at hand. Might as well use it. So the next step for me is, once I get it to this point, I'm going to take a plane to it. You know, I've never seen anybody do it this way, but it works great. Just to kind of smooth it up. Make it look more like a tenon's supposed to look. It's just a block. I found this old block at a buddy's house. His neighbor was moving. A bunch of stuff. Anyway, I got it for free. Just throw some sandpaper that's got the sticky back on it. I love this thing. I got a couple rolls of it, and works wonders. I use this all day, every day. I mean, I've been using it today a lot, so I just kind of soften up the corners. Even though I'm probably going to remove past this anyway, it's just, I don't know, I don't like dealing with sharp corners. Now just take a shoulder plane. Oh. Bring it out the side. If you got a shoulder plane, now this is another one of those tools that was like, might as well get the best, cry once, buy once, cry once things. I do plan on getting a, I'm going to do a restoration on an older one that's a smaller one, a smaller version. This is a little bit large. Even for this project, really, if I was doing, this is the large, and it's fine. You could do large, small, whatever, and that's why I bought it, is because it's so versatile. But you can do so much with it, but it's just big. So I just clean up the shoulders with the shoulder plane. And I'll finish this off. Now when I cut those, I've been cutting a lot of them in this during this build, because right where I'm trying to cut my tenon, it's like a lot of irregular grain or knots or whatever. So it's just been, I mean, the tenon's so large that it's almost impossible, unless you have some really super great wood. It's almost impossible to get a surface area that large with straight grain, no knots, no undulations or anything like that. So if you're getting ready to do this, or you're doing this, or if you've done it, you know. But just expect it.
First steps to first dates. She's always been there. This Mother's Day, say you're the best.
Just cleaning up the shoulders
like
from the saw cut.
You'll also find colorful gemstones, beautiful designs in rose gold and
be careful at this point, because if you start jamming it in there, you might split the wood, just like when you're cutting the tenon if you're doing a split technique. But if you have one of these, as I was trying to say earlier, make sure that you set it down when you go to adjust it or whatever. Set it. Make sure that you loosen it up enough to get the cutter where you want it, and because you want it flush with the tenon or with, the cheek, you have to make these blades, these irons are not exact width. They stick out a little bit. So you have to make sure that you sit it flush on whatever you're doing and adjust it that way. And also you have to make sure that your lever is pressed all the way forward, and I cock mine that way. It gives me, it doesn't like run into the tenon, the piece that I'm working on. And I don't bother with adjusting it when I go to do that last bit on the other side. Yeah, you don't want to go past because then I'll have a bunch of breakout right there. So, yeah, I'm wearing a little bitch sticker right now because I was paring down the haunch on my upper tenon on the right side. And I took a pretty decent chunk out of my thumb with a chisel. And I was pared down so quickly and it was so small, it popped out and went down and just like that. It's just a little chunk, but it wouldn't stop bleeding. I didn't want to bleed all over my bench. I already got it. So right now, really, I'm just kind of prepping it to give it its first initial test into the mortise hole. It's most likely not going to fit, but you never know when you cut tenons, so I always test it and go from there. If it fits right away, amazing. And, we'll work with it from there. Oh, I forgot. And if you don't, I highly recommend you do. If you're like me, you have a lot of pieces and parts, a lot of things going on at one time, I mark everything. In fact, I mark it differently if I have two bases here. So I'll mark 1, 2, 3, and 4 on those legs, and I'll mark A, B, C, and D on all these. Lighting sucks like always, but and I always put references to how it's going to fit into the mortise. So this is the top, this is what's going to be facing me. This is C, so let's go find C. It's a C. And it actually is kind of, it's there. I mean, I could probably slam it home with a dead blow, but I don't want to for obvious reasons. So it barely fits in there. Now, one thing I do need to check is the mortise hole. Last thing you want to do, and I've done it on projects before, is cut your tenon so skinny because it doesn't fit, and the reason it's not fitting isn't because of the tenon, it's because there's an obstacle inside the hole, inside the mortise. So I just look for anything sticking out, which I do have something sticking out here, but it's not hard. There are some down there. So you'll want to get these out. And even though this is a lot further down in my mortise, than I was able to get. This will keep me from hanging up in there when I get to this level. And that should be it for that. Now, what I usually do is mark it. I mark it on all four sides because you're most likely going to end up planing off both sides and you're going to plane the mark away. So this lets me know if I'm getting any further down in the hole. And I could pare down. Realistically, I mean, I could probably go with my poor man's router, check it, and it's pretty close already. So we'll hit it up with this on one side, clean it up, and see if we need to do it on the other. Yeah, and a technique that when you're starting out with this and it's really too thick and you should be paring down really, and I will because I have a knot right here, but sometimes what I do is I just throw it at it like that, like give it a little jab, and if you just have one or two little sticky spots, it'll knock right through it and help you move on a little bit faster without having to stop what you're doing and grab a chisel and pare down. One thing I will say, something that irked me this morning. I mean, I was really frustrated this morning because I realized that my poor man's router had a little twist in it. And, I mean, not a whole lot, but enough to drive me mad. So I took the twist out and continued. But it makes you wonder, like, did I just introduce twist into something? But then everything went together perfectly. So there obviously wasn't too much twist. So that should be enough to come back in. At least get you your entry point. That knot right there is and try your best not to push down because that's kind of far and you don't want to take more meat off here than you are back here. And that's something else. You don't have to just go straight at it. I slide it and almost like like a skewed slicing motion, which also helps get away, helps you start on some thicker stuff that you should be typically paring down. But it helps a lot with those knots. So get what you can and come back and sometimes it's just, you know, it's going to be faster to pare down this way. I just noticed myself paring down the way I usually do instead of the double-handed motion. This poor man's router is a little miracle tool, really. I have a regular router, and it's amazing for dados or something like that, but it's too wide. It's not wide enough for this. It's not long enough. So here I can get way out here where you can't get that far out with a regular router. And by regular router, I mean regular hand router. Well, these knots in the softwood are no joke. I mean, if you're picky, don't do the throw out. Be very careful when you get to your edges because you're going to get tear out. I don't care because it's going to be in the mortise. It's not going to make anything any weaker. Nobody's going to look at it. Nobody's ever going to see it again once it's glued up. And that's something else. I decided I am going to use dowels and do a bore and peg it, but I'm not going to do a draw bore. Like I usually do, which is going to be weird for me, but yeah, and these are through tenons, so make sure you round off the corners and everything. Not just the edges here, but the edges here as well. If not, if you don't, you're going to run the risk of tearing out the other end of your leg. Now I mean, even I'm a perfectionist to a certain extent. Perfect the way I want it anyway. But even I don't mind a little tear out here and there. This is woodworking. So, C to C, top. I took it off my little stand over there, but I know it'll go all the way through now. And when you can pick it up like that, with your mortise, you know it's a good snug fit. Make sure it's going to go all the way home. Booyah! That's it! I am ready. I'll at least dry fit and put these together. Ugh. Now, I'm not the best at this. I don't like... I can firmly say now that I have done it, I've never done it before, but I don't like the where you do a mortise the full width of your board without cutting the back cut on the edges of your board. Just because, I mean, I'm close. I mean, I got a little bit of an indent there, but there's still a damn gap there, and it's going to drive me nuts, but I don't know. I guess over about 30 years it'll be full sawdust anyway. So, see, this is A to A. Can't believe I didn't put it on there. But I put it on all four sides, and it came off when I planed. I did a little planing here. So A to A. See how this goes. Hasn't been together yet. Now this one's not a through tenon. I'm learning from Wrangler Star's mistake. So it's not a through tenon. Just this one. And I'll be doing this obviously on the ground when I go to do my final assembly, but this is the part where they don't really, Paul kind of goes into it, but not really. And Cody from Wrangler Star, I don't know if he even did this part or not. But obviously it was okay for him. But these are the two ends that I'm talking about doing. I'll do a round over on it. It'll look really nice, and I like it. I actually tested it out on the tops over here, since you can't see them anyway. I went ahead and did it in the Craftsman style, one of them, and just playing around, and I really dig it. I dig it more than more than just doing like a, you know, chamfering the corners, which is what I've done mostly in the past. I don't know, I just like it better. But the part I was talking about is knowing that you can get it square. And I'm sorry the video is so long, but I'd rather be building a bench than trying to figure out how to edit video. Can you get it square? Right? I got lucky. That's square right there. Close enough for government work. It could get a little bit better. But remember what I was talking about when we started laying out, that these two dimensions were, you know, the distance between these two and the distance between these two were what I was critical with. So I know that I hit my mark on all of my lines for my mortises, and I didn't change anything on the runner, whatever the hell this is called. If you know what this is called, I'm not talking about the pith, but if you know what this piece of lumber would be called, like a proper name, let me know, because it's been driving me nuts. So right now, what I did with the other one, and what I'm going to do with this one is smack it hard up against. Now it'll be different once I'm on the ground. It'll make a little bit more sense, I guess. But so all I'm doing is smacking it against these shoulders. And you can just measure it. I couldn't get any better. I couldn't get that any closer if I did it with the stuff that I would, you know, with veneers that I would use at work for measuring links that large. I'm pretty damn impressed, if I do say so myself, with that particular portion. So I'm going to let it sit like this overnight. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these two pieces of lumber nice and get the shoulders cleaned up. I really don't need to, because they're pretty damn close. There's a little bit of a gap here. I mean, there's little gaps here and there at the joints, but nothing like holy crap, what the hell happened there? You know, nothing big. So I'm pretty impressed, or pretty satisfied with how that came out. I mean, hell, look at it. It's beautiful. So, but I'll take these apart in the morning. I'm going to go ahead and leave them put up like this. It's better than trying to sticker them while I'm, you know, letting everything, while I'm waiting to put things together. but look at that. Yes! It's a score. And I got both of them. So, tomorrow is assembly. That's what I'm talking about. We'll glue these suckers up. And continue on with the build. So I got the frames. I got my bearers and everything. So this will fit on top of here, like so. So this fits on top of here and just gets screwed to the top. If it's seated there, I'm going to have a little bit more to plane off the top of this guy, but just a hair. I mean, it's like a 64th, couple thou. So I'll plane that down so it's flush, and that one's good. And that'll be that. I'll mount that, so I'll have this guy. I got this one over here, ready to go. Got my bench tops out in the living room. Good thing I'm not married, because my wife would be pissed if I had one. I got like 1,000 pounds worth of lumber in the living room just hanging out. But anyway, so I got my aprons and my well board over there, which I still have to glue up my apron, so I'll do that. I'll prep the lumber and do the glue up for the apron, for the rear apron, because that's the big long one. The other two I don't have to do anything with. And I'm going to do that while these guys are drying, after I assemble them. It's just too late. It's like It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, so I guess I was wrong. It's not Saturday, it's Sunday. So, Mama, happy Mother's Day. Autumn, happy Mother's Day to you too. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I'll call you. Well, today. If you have any questions or comments, if you're even still around 43 minutes into this video, I applaud you. But it was worth it. Yeah, it's coming along. And friends and family, love you. Everybody else, see you in the next clip. See you in the morning.